UAE steps up aid operations to Somali relief camps. Arab Tech increases net profit by 2.5 million dirhams between Q1 and Q2. And China's eastern cities brace for Typhoon Marifa. This is 7 National News. In our top story, the UAE has stepped up its aid operations to relief camps in the Somalian capital of Mogadishu. The relief team dispatched a mobile clinic on Saturday to the Salija refugee camp, where more than 20,000 Somalians are suffering from malnutrition, most of which are women and children. The aid operations include the distribution of essential food supplies and medical aid to save children from life-threatening diseases. The UN just recently called for a rapid response over a new outbreak of measles in the Dolo Ado camp in southeast Ethiopia, where there have been 47 cases so far and 3 deaths. Over 650,000 children are suffering from malnutrition in Somalia due to the worst drought of the decade. The Ministry of Health has listed 4 new medications as narcotic substances and are now prohibited for use in the UAE. The Ministry of Health's Higher Committee for Reviewing Medication Tables at the Ministry found that Orbifen, an anti-inflammatory, tramadol hydrochloride, which is used for pain relief, trihexyphenidyl and chemedrin, both of which are commonly used to treat Parkinson's, including all their salts as raw or processed materials, all to be narcotic. The Cabinet's decision was made after a series of meetings and recommendations with the High Committee in order to benefit the community. The Road and Transport Authority announced today that the public transport will be made more accessible to residents. In anticipation of the opening of the Green Line next month, officials say the metro and buses will now cover more areas across Dubai. In addition to this, the RTA will also launch a monthly pass that aims to attract more residents to use public transportation.
In anticipation of the Metro's Green Line opening in September this year, the Roads and Transport Authority announced the restructuring of the 5 sectors covered by public transport. According to Mohammed Al-Mudareb, Director of the Unified Automated Fare Collection Department, public buses and the Metro will now service 7 zones beginning from the 12th of August.
The other reason why we are doing the restructuring is that because we will be covering much more areas in terms of public transportation. For example, if you look at Zone 7, Zone 7 was not covered before in the 5-zone structure. So Zone 7 is one of the additional areas that we have covered in the Emirate of Dubai. People used to cross the highway, so they are going to a zone where they can commute using a lower fare. What we have done is for this area, Mahesna 2, Mahesna 1, Murdif and Rashdiya, they are all now covered in one single zone. Now another example is that for people who used to travel from, let's say, Mall of the Emirates and Burj Khalifa, it stayed the same. There is no fare increase. It used to be 4.1 dirhams and will still be 4.1 dirhams.
At the same time, RTA is also introducing a new monthly pass that commuters with a Blue Knoll card can avail of.
The monthly pass will come in 3 separate levels. Each level has different pricing. So, for example, the first level, which will cover a single zone, it will cost 100 dirhams, and a 2 neighboring zone fare for a 30-day pass fare will be 180 dirhams, and the unlimited travel or unlimited zones will be 270 dirhams. We're still catering for the senior citizens, for UAE nationals. The monthly pass will be at 200 dirhams for unlimited travel in all zones, and for the students will be 170 dirham, which is much cheaper than the normal monthly pass for normal people, and then this is again covering all zones in Dubai.
Al-Mudareb also assures that there will be no increase in fares with the addition of 2 zones.
The fare structure stays as it is. There is no change in the fare structure. The tier 0 of the public transportation fare in Dubai starts with 1.8 dirhams, which is for a distance less than or up to 3 kilometers. Anything above 3 kilometers, then it goes into zonal based. Zonal based, nothing has changed basically. So we still have the 2.3 for one zone, the 4.1 for 2 zones, and 5.8 for 3 zones and above. Plus, we still maintain the daily cap, which is 14 dirhams. So if you reach 14 dirhams per day, nothing extra will be charged on you, and you still can use public transportation in Dubai.
According to the officials, over 3.5 million Nol cards have already been sold, and they see 1.2 million transactions per day. With the upcoming launch of the 7 zones and the monthly pass, RTA hopes to attract more residents to avail of the convenience that public transport has to offer. Khadija Sali, 7 National News.
And off the back of that, the Road and Transport Authority has increased its number of mobility zones in Dubai from 5 to 7, which will mean a rise in fares. The Green Line, which is set to open in September, will fall into 2 zones in Deira and Bur Dubai, where the maximum fare will be 4.5 dirhams across the 2 zones, as opposed to 2.5 for the 1 zone. Fares for Dubai Metro will range from a minimum of 2.5 dirhams to a maximum of 6.5 dirhams for a single journey when using the Red Nol card, and the maximum daily fare for public transport will be 14 dirhams across all of the zones. The RTA, however, is looking to introduce monthly passes for regular metro users, where passengers will be able to travel unlimited for 100 dirhams in the same zones, 180 dirhams in 2 neighbouring zones, and 270 dirhams unlimited in all 7 zones. Abu Dhabi police have announced a new scheme that will still allow drivers with 24 black points and above on the road. Those who have surpassed the black point limit will be able to reduce their points by signing up to driving lessons, road tests and a theory exam that will reduce their points by 8. Those who have exceeded the limit are usually given a 3-month ban. The opportunity to sign up for driving lessons will run until January and can be done through the Emirates Driving Company in Masafa for the Traffic Point Qualifier Scheme, according to the Emirates news agency. Phase 1 of Sharjah's 100 million dirham Al Majaz Waterfront project is to be delivered by the end of the year, according to officials at the Sharjah Investment and Development Authority. The delivery of the waterfront's amenities has already begun across the 4,700 square metre area, which has been allocated to a number of restaurants and cafes ahead of the Phase 1 delivery date. According to a local paper, Marwan bin Yassim Al-Starkal, the Shuruk CEO, stated that the project is looking to attract a number of international brands into the Emirate for the first time and will include a number of facilities, including a family park and a dancing fountain. The project aims to encourage investment and tourism in the Emirate. And looking to news abroad now, heavy rain and wind lashed China's financial capital, Shanghai, today, as the city felt little effects of the weakening Typhoon Muifa skirting past its coast. Chinese authorities have evacuated more than 200,000 residents from the eastern Zhejiang province and cancelled more than 200 flights. The typhoon, that was once considered to be the worst in the area in years, is weakening as it is heading towards the north. Shandong authorities are now bracing for the typhoon after China's National Marine Environmental Forecasting Centre had issued a red alert for waves of up to 10 metres high in the East China Sea. The typhoon is expected to hit Shandong as early as Monday. A cloudburst in the Mandi district of India's northern Himachal Pradesh state on Saturday has caused a major landslide. Hundreds of people were left stranded on the road, which led to major traffic jams on both sides of the road, and thousands of people were left stranded after the highway was blocked. Torrential rains have affected millions of people in many South Asian countries, such as India, Bangladesh, Pakistan and Nepal. The rains have destroyed crops and damaged homes, besides causing the spread of several waterborne diseases. And up next, we have the day's business news, so stay with us.